So normally the SNN crew likes to pick up and go visit our customers in person and hear about their success stories. Unfortunately, we can't exactly do that right now, but we are not going to let coronavirus stop us from talking to some great people. Today, we are joined by Tabitha Dallaire. Tabitha is the Director of Talent Acquisition and Engagement for Kitsap Credit Union, and she is out in Washington State where it is still early morning. Good morning, Tabitha.
It is early morning. Good morning.
All right, so let's start. Tell us a little bit about Kitsap Credit Union, who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so we are a local credit union in Kitsap County, Washington. So we're headquartered in Bremerton, Washington. We have 17 branch locations, and we are in, I want to say it's about 40% of the households in Kitsap County. So we have a pretty good presence in the area. We're about 1.4 billion in assets, and we have just under 300 employees.
So talk to me a little bit about what's really important to you when it comes to your background screening program. I'm assuming because you're a credit union, you might have different requirements than some of the other people out there.
A little bit, yeah. So the things that are important to me, I actually came from high volume staffing and recruiting before this. So I was very familiar with backgrounds and how they work and how to read them and what to look for. For me, personally and my team, speed is one of the biggest things because with being a credit union, we want to make sure that we can hire somebody before we put them in a branch
Right?
specifically. And for us, it's actually backgrounds are kind of case by case. But if you aren't bondable, we aren't able to hire you at a credit union. So that's the really important thing that we look for is bondability. And so for me, it mostly is just speed. How quickly can we get them back and get them hired when we're doing rapid hiring?
All right, so let's talk about that. How is that going with EBI? Are you finding that you're getting everything, in a timely manner? You've got customer service support. Talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. Customer service is really important. My employee Jen and I both connect with our account manager pretty frequently. So I do feel like every time we've had questions, we're able to email pretty quickly and Barry responds pretty quickly. When there was some little holdups, we've been able to access him and say, hey, what's going on? We were still doing a little bit of hiring just right when the COVID started. And we got really good feedback about what we could expect and what jurisdictions were still open and what were closed and what was going on because we also verify education. So when we couldn't get a high school because they're not open, what can you do?
So you said you were able to talk to your account executive and you felt that support was there? I mean, did you get all the information you needed or did you still have questions?
Yeah, we got all the information we needed. And there's times where it's like, we'll ask a question and then we realize we probably should have asked 3 more. So we'll have to call back or email again. But yeah, they're responsive. There's also an 800 number we can call that isn't directly our account executive just for basic support questions.
Fantastic. One of the things that we wanted to talk to you about was your integration.
It's really important. I don't want to have to navigate to 4 websites to start a background check, especially because when we are hiring, I am usually in the zone just knocking things out. And so not having to navigate to multiple pages to be able to start or check a background is really convenient. So we can actually launch it right from the candidate and then we can open it to see progress and then we can open it when it's complete to look at what's complete. And then the nice thing is there's flags on things that may need review.
All right, so we like to talk about how we help you, but it's important that the applicant have a good experience too. What do you hear from them when they're going through their background screening process?
Yeah, we try to, obviously, we want a really good candidate experience. It's something that I'm really passionate about. I want people to feel really good when they are getting hired or not getting hired even through us. So that's pretty critical. So we let them know that they're going to receive an email from EBI that they'll need to go on and basically okay us running a background check. And so we let them know that's coming. We say the sooner you can get on there, the better. And we have had really good success. I don't have a lot of employees say it goes to spam or they can't find it or they were confused. Almost everyone's like, yep, it already came through. I went in, I launched it. And usually within a couple minutes of me calling, I get the notification that they've signed the form electronically.
Has that always been the case in your career, or have you seen things evolve?
Yeah, I've definitely seen things evolve. I've been in staffing and recruiting for going on 10 years now. And it definitely, backgrounds have changed so much anyways, like legislation, especially here in Washington State, we're definitely, I would say, usually if it's going to happen, it starts on the West Coast. And so
True, very true.
have a lot of trial by fire as it pertains to backgrounds. And so, yeah, I've definitely seen it evolve. And then also just good communication about, hey, why are we allowed to screen for this but not for this? I've had a couple of those questions as well, like why are we seeing this but not this? So yeah, it's been an evolution, and I feel like you guys do a good job of keeping us informed of changes.
Have you ever taken advantage of the compliance library? We have lots of documents online. Is that something, or do you just go directly to your account manager?
Directly to the account manager. Actually, my employee Jen's pretty amazing. So she dives really deep before calling. And if we can't find the answer or still have questions after that, that's usually what we do. We usually start actually with the 800 number oftentimes.
All right, and people pick up right
Yeah.
away? You get your person on the line?
Yep.
All right. So, we try to wrap these up sometimes. We are not ashamed to admit that this is a shameless plug. So if
Sure.
you had a friend call you and say, Tabitha, I need a new background screener, what should I know about EBI? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I would say that, I think that customer service and the account management has been great, very responsive. I do, there's a couple little quirks as with everything, but I do feel like we're heard when we say, hey, we'd love to have this done or that done. We recently needed to change our background process. We're screening for some different things now, and we just let our account manager know. He said, great, here's what happens next, and I'll let you know when it's complete. And start to finish, he did. So I think for me, as I said, responsiveness and timeliness are probably the two biggest factors that I look for. And then, of course, just getting the correct information, which we always have on a background check. So that is less of a concern, more the timeliness and responsiveness.
Fantastic. All right. When we were emailing, you mentioned that you really haven't been hiring during the COVID-19 situation. What do you
No.
see coming down the line? I mean, are you going to be able to start up again soon? Or are you really in a holding pattern?
As director of talent acquisition, we really want to start hiring.
I understand.
Job security. Yeah, I think that we definitely will. We are also seeing just some regular attrition, where people, we are a heavy military town actually. So recently a ship was transferred to a different port and we lost 3 people just because their spouses are on that ship. We like to do a lot of hiring of military veterans and military wives. So we definitely do see some attrition because of that. So I do think that there will be positions that need to be replaced. We actually have had a lot of success. Our team's a little bit newer in talent acquisition here. And so in March, we filled all but 4 positions that we had open. So when we went on the hold, it wasn't terrible because we had already filled so many. And one of the cool things partnering with the EBI as well is we were able to still get those responses back, and we learned how to start people remotely and do remote onboarding and training that allowed us to bring those employees on. Where I think we're going to definitely probably see some growth and may continue to need to hire right now is our contact center. The volume has just increased exponentially. And so we've been able to pull people from other areas to go to our contact center. So some of the branches that are a little bit slower right now are now the employees are in the contact center, which is cool. But I suspect that we will probably need to grow that area soon.
Sounds good. We are all evolving. We are all changing. And I just want to let you know that we appreciate you, even though we're all the way across the country. We really
Yeah.
are glad to have you as part of the EBI family.
Yeah. Thank you. We appreciate you.
All right, Tabitha, take care. Stay safe.
All right. You too.